Kalomo kutuli. Kambo unyina mulandu ngunda tegoti izingombe topa mulandu ulisope mububaya gagwenda. Onya wina burwa zingombe mbuzi yachaninga tasipimi byembuzi wape. Uzezwabo waveti ngakujaya.
Ladies and gentlemen, who kills 70 animals? And not just animals, maybe to Kolwe or to Karurwa. We're talking about cattle here. We're talking about ng'ombe. Who kills 70 ng'ombe? Just because the owners of those ng'ombes do not have a permit to move the animals from one place to another. Does that even make logical sense? When we sit down here as educated people, killing someone's animals just because they do not have a permit, does it even make sense? Isn't there better ways we can resolve these issues? You see, sometimes we as Africans, in particular Zambians, are enemies of our own selves. We try to look around for enemies and we think it is the Europeans, we think it is the Chinese, but sometimes our enemies are our people. We are the same people we interact with, the same people we eat with, the same people we drink with. This story has broken my heart. And in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, I found this story on Diamond Online Media or Diamond TV Online. And it states, video focus, warning, the following video may be disturbing to sensitive viewers. About 70 cows have been killed in Kalomo following a court order which ruled that the animals were being moved without required movement permits. Okay. You see, when I just read about 70 cows have been killed, I thought maybe they were tested and they were found to have diseases or illnesses that could have affected the other animals. You know, the usual stories that we hear about because there's a swine flu, there's a chani. But the reason here why these cows have been killed is because the owners did not have the required movement permits. Now, affected farmers have spoken to Diamond News expressing disappointment, saying they were relocating the animals to another area. The farmers are now calling on veterinary authorities to educate livestock owners on proper procedures. Many claim that veterinary officers rarely visit rural villages and permits are only accessible in town. Now, ladies and gentlemen, realistically speaking, we should have a heart. My judges, we should have a heart for our people. We should have a heart here. We must not assume that everyone is as educated as we are. I know ignorance has no defense in the courts of law. I know the court does not work with emotions. But sometimes all we need is just logic. Our brothers or our sisters or whoever was involved were only moving cattle, and according to them, they were just relocating these animals. We found them. They did not have the necessary documents, or they do not even have the documents at all to move these animals. I don't know if we carried out some tests, but the story says these animals were just killed because these people did not have the right documents to move these animals. Are we sure that was the best option to go with? Are we sure? Okay, what was so hard with whoever was in charge at that particular moment, helping these people with the necessary documents? What was so hard with just helping them with the necessary documents to move these animals? What was so hard, even with the court, to just direct, oh, okay, these animals were being moved without the necessary documents. Maybe looking at these people, they're not knowledgeable. Or maybe even if they were, what was wrong with maybe the court just advising to say, okay, we have heard that you did not know, Now that you know, please just do the right thing. We have seen these things happening in other countries where even someone, breaks a traffic rule, and the court will just be like, okay, you were doing this. Depending on the explanation that this person has given, they'll just say, okay, go and do the right thing. We'll charge you, but this is. Are we saying killing these animals was the best option? We are on all the options that we have. That was the best option. I'm sure government has farms. I'm sure government has got animals. Why didn't we maybe just take these animals and kept them somewhere and they allowed these people to do the necessary thing? Once you wake up every day in the morning to go for work, your friends depend on those animals that you have killed for them. Imagine the depression that you're going to give them. Imagine the mental torture you are going to give them. All because they did not know what to do. All because they did not access these services that you wanted them to access. And for them, it was just the moving of these animals. It is not like they were stolen. Obviously, you did your background check. These animals were not stolen. If the reason you have given us is because they did not have the documents, you could have helped them to get the documents. So for you, killing the animals was the best option here. It was the best. Yeah, inaimwe tisazinkhala so himwiga twambaba tizikamba vinango. Okay, now that the animals have been killed, what next? How has this helped the situation? Because these people now will be frequenting social welfare offices asking for help from government. Okay? And the government will say, no, we don't have funds. These people will go in the street. Series but we should have a heart sometimes. I know the law is there. The law is there to be enforced. But certain things, I think we need to just see the way we can help our people. This was not even a criminal offense. It put the lives of other people in danger. I personally feel there was a way we could have sorted out this issue. Killing those animals was not the best idea. Even you deep down your heart, you know it wasn't the best alternative. It wasn't the best option. There was a way you could have helped the owners of these animals. So someone is at peace here. You ordered for the animals to be slaughtered and they were slaughtered. And the owners of those animals went home crying. Your heart is at peace here. Per month and you get paid.